This a survival story, true ghetto story. This is my story, real ghetto story. Hey, I remember those days when hell was my home, when me and mama bed was a big piece of foam, and me never light bathe and my ear never comb. When mama gonna work, me go street go roam. I remember when Danny them take my snow cone and make him lick a bread of them, kick up Jerome. I remember when we visit them with pure.
Yes, we thank you for watching, right? Many things, many things. Hi Darren, community vibes, right? Stay tuned. Keep watching us, keep supporting, right? So me and Mr. Fresh is gonna be right here tomorrow. And how much are we selling these for, Mr. Fresh? Talk to us.
In stores, they retail for $12 in stores. If you go to the website, you can get it on sale right now for $9.99. And if business entrepreneurship can save myself, it can save a lot of other youth. That's what we need to start talking about, is business and self-sufficiency, and understanding that we need to become entrepreneurs in order to break out of poverty, break systemic walls down, get active with what's going on in the community. The way how we can start being proactive is by actually supporting with our dollar to support. We can actually move herd with our dollar. All right, fam TV, you're rocking with Mr. Fresh. Today I'm actually here to tell you guys about my product. I grew up in the Jane and Fresh community. It's a product that actually is born and raised out of Toronto, and it's a product that's actually taking the globe by speed of light. So what I would say is that some of the people that have gotten this product has been DJ Envy, Emmanuel Jaw. It's been on Dragon's Den as well. And you can actually get it online at freshandfamous.com. I just want to big up Ghetto Stories for keeping it fresh. I want to also say thank you to all my fans who has been supporting the product. Those of you that's been supporting endlessly and using the product in your home. And we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop until this is a household name. So we won't stop. And, you know, I want to say, you know, to all the youth them that are dreaming, you know what I mean, always starts with a dream, you know what I mean, and never forget where you come from. That's all.
Good afternoon. What's happening?
What's happening, Miss Ghetto Stories?
Sitting here with the one and only Mr. Fresh and Fabulous.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're amazing.
Thank you.
You're amazing. For me, you're amazing.
Thank you.
Now, you know the context of Ghetto Stories.
Of course.
Right? Getting higher education to teach others.
Yes.
Yes. So you are doing this.
Yes.
You're doing this. You
Yes.
grew up where?
Jane and Finch.
Yes. You grew up in Jane and Finch. And what did that mean for you?
Growing up, it was tough growing up. You know, I grew up in foster care. You know, I went through a lot of different things growing up, but what happened is that the perseverance, for me, I decided to start a business at a young age and decided to create Mr. Fresh brand because I saw a bigger vision. I saw that, you know, looking over my shoulder 24/7 to see if a cop was gonna pull me over wasn't in my future. I wanted to basically do something that was positive instead of something that was negative. It was so easy to pick up the crack cocaine and slang, but it's hard to actually invent something and to hit the block with a legit product and something that could actually be successful long term versus short term.
I like that. I'm gonna take you back. So you said you grew up in Jane and Finch, you grew up in foster care, you grew up on the streets and you have knowledge of the streets.
Yes.
So what would you say is your best takeaway from all of that? What's your best takeaway?
My takeaway from growing up in the streets was, you know, common sense, you know, mind development, really understanding ourselves and really understanding our environment and why is the world the way it is. It's like, you know, when you go into these institutions and these spaces and they tell you that it's just the way the world is, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that whatsoever. I agree that, you know, we have the solution inside of us. It's just a matter of if you want to live a life that you want to live, it starts with an idea. That's all it takes, is an idea. If you're trying to manifest a certain life and you want to have a certain amount of finances as well, it's just an idea. And I think that most of the people that are coming up, they don't know how to go about it.
I like that. So in the getting higher education to teach others, your intention is to teach others, because I have to big you up, because I heard that you won a award 2010 for what? Outstanding entrepreneur?
Entrepreneurship of the year from the city of Toronto.
Entrepreneurship of the year from the city of Toronto. That's big. That's big, right? So you had to learn some lessons, take these lessons to take it to a higher level. So now here you are sitting here as a businessman with products that you are selling.
Yes.
So how did you invent this? Where did this come from?
So that came, like, it's been over 10 years in the making with this product. I was around 13 when I first invented this product. And when I saw how much money it was making, I actually was shocked.
Okay.
I actually was shocked because it was keeping me out of trouble. It was something that I didn't have to do that was wrong. It was legit money. And when I saw the power of owning a product and the power of business, I said to myself, you know, this is something I want to pursue. And, you know, I'm so glad that I kept stuck with it, because it didn't always look this good. When I first started out, it didn't have the gold trim. Now it has that. You know our people like nice things.
Yeah, you understand. So in the context, let's keep it in the context. So you're coming out of what is considered the ghetto.
Yes.
There's that mentality that as a young black man, this is where you should be. So you're now working to defy the odds, to say that because of where I'm coming from, that does not stop me from being a successful man.
Yes.
Right? So you're saying perseverance. They say it took you 10 years to get this. So in the 10 years, what was that like?
Oh, it was a lot of growth, a lot of challenges, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of a lot of hustling, a lot of hard work, and at the same time a lot of respect, a lot of learning, because it takes a village to raise a child. And what I got to see firsthand was a dialogue from each customer that was buying my product, that was investing into me, because they wanted to see a better community.
All right, they wanted to see a better you, so they invested in you to get you to where you need to be.
Exactly.
So if you had a message to give to the community, what would your message be?
Keep supporting each other. Don't think that we're not getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere. And the way how we're going to keep on getting somewhere is by supporting one another. Look past the bad and the negativity. Look past the noise. All the distraction is just distraction. And the more that we allow these things to distract our mind, is the more that we're not going to advance. But the only way to advance is to focus on the positive and the good. And how we're going to keep advancing is by us supporting people like yourself with Ghetto Stories.
Yes.
And having more successful stories come on your show.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I would say it starts with one person. If you could support one person in your day, do it if you can, because it could lead to changing someone's life.
So I love that. So our message is getting higher education to teach others. Education is not an institution. Education is knowledge of self. Because you had to learn about yourself. You learned about your challenges. You learned about where now you're taking it to others. Others is the community. So you're taking it to another level. So as we big up Fam TV, big up the Fam family, where can we find you, Mr. Fresh?
You can find me on Instagram at Mr. Fresh and Famous. You can also find me at my website at www.freshandfamous.com, or on Facebook at Fresh and Famous. Also, I'm on Twitter at Mr. Fresh and Famous. And tune in. I have a book coming out this year. I'm supposed to be dropping a book in March. So tune in. I'm dropping a biography book. And that book's going to be fire. All the things that I learned over the years in my business years, I'm going to be dropping knowledge of how to write grants, how to get funding, how to get your business off the ground, the do's and don'ts when you're in the environments that you're in, and really how to actually become a success story in your own community. Like, it doesn't matter where you're at, it doesn't matter where you are, it matters. Sorry, it doesn't matter where you're from. It matters who you are becoming, right? So, one thing I would say is, you know, it goes back to what Michelle Obama says. Actually, Michelle Obama has a very powerful book out right now, and I highly encourage you guys to read it. It's called Becoming, and I want to say this year for 2020, we are becoming powerful people. We are becoming we are becoming into ourselves, most importantly. So that's all I have to say.
All right. So I say it's not where you start, it's where you finish. Right? So it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from. It's not where you start, it's where you finish. So I want to say big up Mr. Fresh.
Big up
for
Ghetto
sitting
Stories.
here. Big up for hanging with me.
Hey.
Big up for making, you know, things possible, because you made the impossible. What looked impossible, you made it possible. So you're now out there, a businessman, an entrepreneur. Now you're gonna be an author.
Yes.
All right. So, can we feel special by you dropping the title of the book? Like, can we feel special?
The
Like,
title
wanna
of the
feel
book is called Jane and Fresh.
Ah.
Keep it in the original.
All right. I like it. Jane and Fresh. We say peace out. I'm saying to you, Miss Ghetto Stories, saying be blessed by being more, definitely not less.